Hey, did you like my opinions? Everything that was said in the video was mine. I promise that I am just one mind. Everything that I think is in one line.
Welcome everyone to the Dabbing Penguin podcast. I was gonna do the Penguin podcast, but that was taken. So gotta love copyright, right? Okay, so yeah, this is gonna be as raw as like a steak that will give you E. coli. I'm not used to that. Usually I'm like a hibachi chef on the editing software. I'm like, it's probably really loud on the mic. But today we're just going to be going over the different types of penguins. I thought that would be very appropriate for a podcast about penguins. First, you got to know like the different types. And I just woke up like 20 minutes ago, so bear with me. I have this hat. It's pretty cool. And I also got this stuffed penguin Slippy. Gotta love them. So, first thing we got on the list is African penguins. This is usually the type of penguin that you would see at, like, the zoo when you go. Because they're usually, what's it called? Adapted. Yeah, adapted to, more warm climates. It's not like the typical penguin you think is in Antarctica or something. No, this one's a little more adaptive to, African-type climates. So, you will usually see these types of penguins at, a zoo. Then we got these northern Rockhopper penguins. I just see this penguin and it reminds me of that movie Surf's Up. And apparently it's endangered. Who knew? Yeah, he's got a lot of spikes coming out of his head. I don't know how he's endangered because he's like the least cute penguin. And I think if like a predator saw this penguin, they would be like, whoa, I'm terrified of that penguin. Like, at least the other ones look vulnerable. This one just looks intimidating. Okay, up next we got the king penguin, not to be mistaken with the emperor penguin. And apparently, it's the second largest species. I can pronounce things. Second largest species of penguin. The more you know. This one looks like a very stereotypical penguin. He's got the little yellow around him, around his head. He's got the big pointy beak, white on his chest. Just very stereotypical penguin. And he has, actually, when he has chicks, they're brown. But you didn't know that one. I sure didn't. Okay, we got the Delhi penguins. I like to call these the Dell penguins. Just because it's more fun. I don't know. These ones are really cute. They're really stubby and kind of pudgy. And they kind of look like the type of penguin that is just like, not the cool kid in class. He's just kind of there. He's not... My cat is meowing right outside my door. And we're back! I know I said I wasn't gonna be like cutting this much, but that's gonna have to be a hard cut there. Okay, so I was on the Delhi penguins, the Dell penguins. Yeah, I mean they're cute, they're people, they're things. That's right, they're people, in my mind. We're gonna move on to the fairy penguin. Not gonna lie, never heard of these things in my life. They don't really look like penguins. They have the general shape, but they're just like blue. Not much to say about this. Yeah, it's a fairy penguin. No one cares about the fairy penguins. The yellow-eyed penguin. Now these are beautiful. They just have yellow faces and eyes. They look like a normal penguin, pretty much. They just have yellow face and eyes. Okay, up next. These are a classic in the penguin community. Chinstrap penguins. These things are so cool. They look like they have a little chin strap to their beard, or like a chin strap to a hat that they would have on. It could be one of many things. They're just really cute. They have like a little black line that goes across their face. And the very classic penguin. And they have really cute babies that have, they're all gray, and they will soon get their little chin straps, you know. That's when they become a man penguin. That's when they grow up. And it says there is almost 13 million individual chinstrap penguins. No way. This one I can't really pronounce. Magellanic Penguin. These are also ones that you would probably see in the zoo. They look very similar to African penguins. I actually, as soon as I saw these, I'm like, didn't I already review these? But no, they're the African penguin's cousins, and they typically live in like Brazil, so also warmer climates. So you will also probably see these in the zoo if you go to the zoo at all. Up next, we got the Southern Rockhopper Penguin. These are also very similar to the other ones up top that I said were scary. They have reddish eyes as well. It kind of looks like the 90s with like the spiked hair, but they're not quite as spiked as the other guys. They're like mediocre spiked in the spike community, because you know that's a community now. And according to this, but their bird song is very rough, and they are probably the least musical penguin. Which actually kind of surprises me, because it looks like they could represent the Backstreet Boys. Just a thought. Now, this one is one of my favorites, just because the name. It's the Macaroni Penguin, which looks like the spiked-haired penguin once again. What is the spiked-haired penguin's name again? We're gonna go back up to that. The Northern Rockhopper Penguin? Yeah, it looks like them, only they have, oh, that makes sense, because this one, the last one was the Southern Rockhopper. The other, okay, that makes sense. See? We're putting things together here. Now, this is the Macaroni Penguin, and it looks like those two, only they slick their hair back. So we're going back to, like the 70s type era with, like, the leather jackets and the DA haircut, you know, the pompadours. Yeah, these guys, practically, I can see their jeans, leather jackets. I'm pretty sure I see Olivia Newton-John back there. It's practically Greece. It's the Greece penguin. The Australian Little Penguin. This one self-describes itself. I stuttered really hard there because of how much it self-describes itself. It's Australian and it's a little penguin. These things are so small. And it says Australian little penguins speak with a higher pitched accent. And it's closely related to their New Zealand cousins. The more you know. I think this camera's like jaded a little bit. Yeah, I could have fixed that, but that's funny. At some point, go put an ad. You know what? Ad right now. Make sure you check out today's sponsor, the Suited Bird merch store. Just releasing its new Toodles merch. Isn't this merch beautiful? Okay, now back to your regularly scheduled program. Okay, so up next we got the Emperor Penguin. Emperor Penguins are the best penguin. I'm just gonna throw it out there. Did you know Emperor Penguins can grow up to 4 feet tall? That is insane. 4 feet tall this penguin is. Emperor penguins are like the classic penguin. And their babies are the cutest little penguins. Like, Slippy right here. Emperor penguin. They're by far the most classic penguin. The babies are like the classic baby penguin. It's usually when people think of penguins, they're thinking of the Emperor penguin. And they're the only bird species that never sets foot on land because their home is Antarctica. And Antarctica technically isn't land. The more you know. Okay, up next we got Snare Penguin. Once again, kind of has a little bit of floof going there. He has like the Macaroni and the Northern whatever penguin. He has a really big bill happening. His little floof kind of reminds me of like maybe the Macaroni Penguin's son, who's like 8 and wants to be like his dad. So he starts like floofing up his hair a little bit or like putting it back a little bit. And he's just quite isn't there yet. His hair isn't like trained to go like that. He has a calic going probably. It's a lot happening for a thing, but he's trying to be like his dad. He's inspired by his dad. So that's what the Snare Penguin is like. Okay, up next we got the Galapagos Penguin. Galapagos, I just whacked my mic. Who cares about that? Galapagos penguins also look a lot like the African penguins. Actually, it says right here, they're closely related to the African penguins, but are far smaller. Yeah, they're really cute. Nothing much to say about them. They live in the Galapagos, which is like a tropical type island. So, you could probably see these guys in zoos as well. Maybe not as commonly as like the African penguin, but they will probably be there. I don't know if I'm allowed to say this on a podcast, but it's the erect Crested Penguin. These guys are like the bad boys. Like, they're in their own little clique. It's like the emos. They have also the spiked hair. It's a real theme going. But yeah, they're really weird, and a lot of people don't talk to them. But actually, when you go up to them, they're really nice people and usually very accepting, as long as you're kind to them. That's why I think they're like the emo penguins. And they spend a large amount of time grooming each other, as it says in this article. Thank you, Two Oceans Aquarium, for this beautiful article, by the way. Then number 16. How many do we have? Oh, jeez, there's a lot of penguins. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. There are 26 of these things. Okay, where was I? Number 16? We got the SubAntarctic Gento Penguin. Now, these guys are pretty cute as well. All penguins are cute, but these guys, they have their own little swagger to them. They have a little white spot that goes on, like, their head right above their eye. And, they're just chilling. No pun intended with the SubAntarctic thing. They're just chilling. We gotta keep rolling here, because I'm already over with my time, but, penguins are important. We got the Warhol Penguin. Now, these guys are the top. These guys are like the jocks of like the Macaroni Penguin, the emo penguin group. It's a whole posse. These guys are like the jocks, the top tier. They got a little bit of spike going, but they have it like styled. Everyone looks up to these guys, and they're like, whoa, they're so cool. Get all the female penguins, all the hot female penguins. There's much disagreement about whether there are actually two distinct species of these types of royal penguins. And according to this also, together with the Macaroni Penguin, these are the only two species whose crests meet in the middle. Incredible. Next we got the Humboldt. Yeah, these just look like African penguins. I'm just gonna keep going. Apparently they escaped the Tokyo Zoo, so I guess you can see them in the zoos in Tokyo. The more you know. Eastern Rockhopper Penguin. Oh my goodness, once again, is just a freaking Macaroni Penguin, I feel like. Red eyes, got the spikes coming out. I think this is actually the one from, Surf's Up, like isn't there like an older guy who's like wise? He kind of looks that way. He looks like at one time he was very, he was a bad boy, and he grew up, but he still kind of lives that double life, and he wants to be cool, but he's also very wise. He's in his 30s. You know what I mean? Penguin years, of course. Then next we got the Fordland Penguin. These guys are like miniature versions of the Grease penguins. They have the little slick back going. Yeah, there's nothing much to say about this. They live in rainforests. Interesting to see all these penguins that aren't in the Arctic. Next we got the Allied King Penguin. Yeah, it just looks like an emperor penguin, to be honest. Only this one looks like it's hitting a seal, but it's his child. Yeah, that's about it. Up next we got the Ellsworth Gento Penguin. And these live exclusively on the coast of Antarctica. These guys are pretty plain. Got the gray and the white, also the little white spot right above their eye. In this picture, he's fighting off a bird. Very cool, very cool. The birds attack their young, by the way. I learned that in a documentary. Number 23, the white flipper penguin. Yeah, once again, these look like those, farther up, the fairy penguins. They look like that. Honestly, this picture looks fake. It looks like a garden gnome. There's a hair. Like a garden ornament that you would see. They're kind of cute. Not like a stereotypical penguin, but they're pretty cute. We got the Cook Strait little penguin. So small. This penguin is so small, but it looks like a bird. Like, it starts to get to the point where penguins start to all kind of look the same. Like, you got the emperor penguins, you got the macaroni penguins, you got the African penguins. They're like the head honchos there. But then you got these little ones like fairy penguins and Cook Strait little penguins, where I swear they're starting to make up penguins. But we know the real G's. We know the real G's. We got the Northern Island Little Penguin. This guy made himself a little nest out of sticks and twigs, found in northern New Zealand. The man's just chilling. Okay, up next we got the Chatham Island Little Penguin. Yeah, they're just making up penguins at this point. Number 26 also lives in East New Zealand. So, a lot of these penguins are actually just coming from New Zealand and Australia, which is interesting because they are very warm climates. So, maybe you're learning something new. They're not just in Antarctica and the Arctic. Oh, that was the last one. I mean, the Chatham Penguin kind of looks like the artsy girl, if I'm being honest. Chatham Penguin is the artsy girl. She's calm, she's shy, but if you go up to her, she's usually pretty cool. If you're nice to her, once again, like the emo kids, if you're nice to her, she'll be nice to you. She's just chill. Chatham Penguin just chilling. All right, thank you everyone for coming to episode 1 of the Penguin, or no, not the Penguin podcast. Nope, that's not me. The Dabbing Penguin podcast. Dabbing Penguin podcast. And I'll see you on the next episode if I have one. Toodles!
Y'all know who it is, it's your bird in the suit. It's that boy with the review, it's that man with the news. YouTube creators to present on the airwaves with the animatic creative character, 3 hairs, man, what you gonna do? Get featured on the news and get the top spot on the Suited Birds new YouTube review. Now check out another one. Just click on the box and check out another one.